You are the placebo. You are the placebo. You're the effect that you're actually looking for. But a lot of people are mistaken today because they look for this placebo effect outside of themselves. There's a saying that if you seek, you shall find. And I think it is true, but I think it speaks to something much deeper. There are many perspectives on this, but one perspective is what I'm going to talk about today. Many clinical studies and trials and research studies, have been done looking at the placebo effect. Basically, there's two chemical solutions or pills or tablets or whatever. One is the control variable, which is the placebo. It's not supposed to work. The other one is the uncontrolled or the dependent variable. It's supposed to have an effect. But then people realized that people who took the placebo, the researchers found that those who took the placebo actually reported that they experienced certain reactions. So if maybe you're taking a pill for headache and it's placebo, it's actually not supposed to work. A lot of people would report that the headache actually disappeared. If it's supposed to calm you down, a lot of people would report that it actually calmed them down. If it's supposed to cause anxiety and excitement, people would report that it actually caused that. That's the placebo. Which means that it was people who actually, because they knew that it's supposed to release a certain result, therefore they positioned their minds to be ready for those outcomes, and they would experience those outcomes. This is what we call the placebo effect. But this is just in medical chemical studies. But then the placebo effect is much broader than that. It actually works in real life. This is where that whole thing of visualizing what you want to achieve comes in. Because what happens is that you tell your mind to be ready for a certain reality. And what the mind does, because you're visualizing it, so you have images. And if you attach emotional, states to those images, I'll give you an example. You want to own a certain business and you want a particular level of success to that business. And you visualize this in your mind and you attach emotions to those visions in your mind. What the subconscious mind will do is that it will attach those feelings to those images that you have and create this kind of experience that actually never happened. But the subconscious mind then will inform your conscious mind, which will drive your behavior towards that particular reality. This is what we say now about, thinking about things and visualizing and meditating on them so as to drive behavior. It actually does work. You can manipulate your mind, you can manipulate your mindset or your thoughts to drive you towards a particular behavioral pattern. It happens all the time. It's what it's called programming. Sorry about that. That's what we call programming. Predictive programming works like that all the time. You watch a movie, there's a certain type of behavior. It may be taboo at first, but then 5 years later, that type of behavior becomes normalized. People start practicing it because of the images they see and the associated feelings to those images. If you see something scary and you feel scared and you keep on seeing it and you feel scared every time, you will believe that it's scary, even though it might not be, you see, because you attach feelings to those images. And this is what it's all about, the placebo. People get, they told that this is supposed to work and do this to you. It's supposed to remove the headache. It's supposed to calm you down. It's supposed to excite you. And because they've already prepared their minds to obviously experience that state, it happens. And this is very, 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 very narrow. This is the tip of the iceberg. So I'm not even going to get into the actual studies. I'm just giving you the principle here. So now this is what then informs my mind. It's what informs my theme for today, that you are the placebo that you're looking for. The reason why so many people look outside of themselves, they believe that there's some miracle that's going to come from somewhere that's going to come and change their lives. The reason why people keep on playing the lottery or the lotto is because they believe that something's going to happen. They're going to be lucky and fortunate and they'll win the lotto, which is probably not going to ever happen because, the creators of that thing have a much higher likelihood of actually gaining a lot from you, which is why they keep on, promoting lotto. But the reason why people play things like the lottery, the reason why people bet, the reason why people actually go to these miracle healers, and I'm not even going to get to that, but all I'm saying is that the reason why people look for outside solutions is because they believe that the solution is there somewhere. They just don't believe that it's within them. They don't believe that they are capable of solving their own problems. And I think that's the biggest mistake humanity can ever make, looking elsewhere for what they already have within them. Because the reality that you're looking for is actually right inside of you, in your mouth, in your voice, in your thoughts, in your sight, and ultimately in your decisions and behaviors. Because everything else informs your decisions and behaviors. What you see with your eyes will inform your decisions at the end of the day. What you hear with your ears will inform your decisions. Sometimes what you say with your mouth will inform your decisions. So now the words that come out of your mouth, the words that you listen to, so the words that enter your mind, the sight or the vision or the visuals you keep exposing yourself to, they are all very, very much bound to influence your decision-making process. So what that means is that now you have the opportunity, you have the capacity now to manipulate those parameters. You have to manipulate what you see with your eyes. You have to manipulate what you hear with your mouth, with your ears, and what you say with your mouth. Manipulate those so as to increase your chances of actually manifesting that reality that you want. This may be getting your degree. That it may be the reality you want. It may be actually getting married and establishing a family because you never had the chance to have a family. That's the reality you want. This may be actually breaking through from poverty, or establishing a business that works. That's the reality that you want. It depends on your context. But the point is, every single thing that you do in your life, daily life experience, will influence whether or not you get to that reality, and how fast or how slow it is that you will get to that reality. And it goes back to what? The placebo effect. Prepare your mind, prepare your body, prepare your mindset, prepare yourself for that reality. Why do you think people who actually win the lottery never actually, a lot of them stay broke, they stay poor, because their minds were never out of poverty. You can't expect to be out of poverty, but your mindset is that of a poor person. Even with billions and billions of dollars, there's a lot of musicians, a lot of athletes that are just poor with billions of dollars at hand. They're so poor, 3 generations down the line, their children are begging for food. Musicians, we see it all the time. Why? Because they never prepared their environment. They never prepared and set up parameters to ensure that they live in a system of abundance, a system of wellness, a system of excellence, a system of discipline. Because money, success in business, success in your relationships is an outcome. It's not the input. The input is what you actually choose to do. And therefore, you take that input, you put it into a system that you actually build through behavioral patterns and habits. Then when you build that system through behavioral patterns and habits, the system then yields results, which is what will take you closer to the reality you want. So in reality, how to achieve dreams, how to achieve goals, how to achieve objectives is choice. You choose. You choose sometimes even before actually taking measurable action. By just thinking, you choose. So what you think about, what you talk about, what you meditate on, which means what you think deeply on. If you choose to think deeply on negative words that people say about you, that's your choice. But it will yield the results that are in accordance to that choice. It's a function. Success, failure, abundance, scarcity, poverty, wealth are all functions of choices. So whatever you choose then will have an outcome. But then this function, this outcome, it is based on a system or a process that you have the choice to actually build. You have a choice to build it. Sometimes you don't even know where to start. Start with your decisions. And then make sure that you safeguard your environment. Your environment should allow for growth. It should be conducive for growth. It should be conducive for constant learning, constant unlearning. But it should also be conducive for protection of what you value the most. Expose yourself, be elastic, but also protect and maintain. Very important. I say again, you are the placebo. You actually have the capacity to create what you want to create. I'm not even talking about some, superficial, manifest it, bring it to life. It may seem superficial, but it's actually true. Because what you think on, what you speak on, is what you will ultimately act on. In the long run, you will act on it. And what you act on is literally directly proportional to the kind of life you live. So your choices are directly proportional to your reality. You can't tell me you want to live your life, of a particular quality, but then the choices you make don't match up with that quality. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. So you can then choose to either keep on dreaming or actually take decisions. You are the placebo. Stop looking outside for solutions. Peace.